Hey, what's up, everybody? Hey, real quick. So I had a thought. I gotta get this information out of me, right? So I've been going with this new phrase, right? That inspiration doesn't have a schedule. Like if that shit comes to you at 2 o'clock in the morning, that's the time to push it out into the world or tell somebody or whatever you gotta do. So I'll make this very quick. Here it is. So I've been saying for a long time that anything is possible, right? Anything's possible. No matter what it is you think, it's possible. It might not be probable, but it's possible. You know what I'm saying? So any thought that you think, i.e., hey, you want to be this thing or you want to achieve this thing, your goal is to increase the probability of that happening in order to make it an eventuality, because it's possible, it's just not probable. You know what I'm saying? Unless you increase the probability. Now, I'm not trying to get crazy with the math, but here's the thought. Here's the theory. Here's what I came up with. First, let's say you got this goal, right? Let's say you got this goal. You want to make $10,000, or you want to make, fuck it, let's go crazy. You want to make $1 million, right? The only thing, you want to make $1 million in X amount of time, right? We got to talk about probability versus possibility. We already know it's possible based off what I said, because anything's possible, anything's attainable. It's just probably not probable until you increase the probability. Now, this sounds crazy. I'm telling you this. It's nuts to think about it because I just had this epiphany, but I'm putting it out there. Here it is. So if you want to make $1 million, you either, here's a theory. Sell something 1 million times, right? For $1, and you'll have $1 million. Like, this is not even this rocket science. It's like, okay, do you know 1 million people, right? If you don't know 1 million people, well, then your probability of achieving that $1 million goal is decreased. So how do you do it? You would have to, increase the price. Let's say you find a product, service, or item or piece of information and you sell it for $2. You just cut your time down in half, 50% slice, right? You just cut your time down in half. So now you only have to work half as hard as you were gonna work, instead of 1 million people. Now you just gotta sell to 500,000 people, right? And so on and so forth. So now let's say, screw it. I want to sell it for double the price, double it, right? Let's say instead of $2, we got to go $4. Instead of whatever, you know what I'm saying? It just keeps going. Eventually, you'll figure out the math. That's the thing that you got to do. You got to find out what the math says. What the math says. The math usually says, keep dividing the number until it becomes probable or possible, and you'll be where you need to be. You have to keep dividing the number, make it obtainable. So I did another one. Here's another example. Another example is, I was like, well, okay. Like if you want to have 1 million views, you got to do the math. How do you get there? Make 1 million videos, 1 minute long. How long would that take? It's 1,440 minutes in a day. You do your math. How much, if you make one minute video, if you make one minute video in a day, essentially you can make 1,440 videos all in one day. Now that's crazy to think about it, right? So let's cut that number in half. I don't know what I'm doing the math. I'm walking around like a crazy person, but let's take 1,400, let's call it 14, cut that number in half, right? Cut that number in half. And now you got half the day, right? You got half the day to upload half as many videos, which I think is like 700 videos, right? Now, is that possible? No, it's probably not possible, but you just keep dividing the number to make the thing obtainable. You know what I'm saying? Do the math, right? Figure out what that thing is you want to do, and then you have to know how long it's going to take, because if not, it doesn't seem like it's attainable, or you can't see the increased probability. You know what I'm saying? Everything is math, 100%. And I really like that example. If you want to make $1 million, which I don't know why people want to do that, but you want to make $1 million, do something 1 million times. If you don't want to do something 1 million times, increase the price, and then you don't have to do it 1 million times. Now it's 500,000 times. And then it breaks down even more, 250,000 times. Then it chops down even more, and it just keeps going until it becomes obtainable, and then it's easy. Anybody could, let's say, if you sell 1,000 things for $1,000, you'll have $1 million, right? But what's that gonna be? You know what I'm saying? People just don't want to do the work. Anyways, hey, it just came to me. I was thinking about it. Anything is attainable if you know the math. If you want to have 100 sales, you have to talk to 100 people. And if you talk to 100 people and 10 people buy, guess what? You got to increase that number. Times it by 10 and you'll reach your goal. All right, that's all I got. I'm out.